Hello, Caleb Danzy here with Danzy Design Build. Today I wanted to talk to you about our pre-construction agreement and letter of intent and how that can help you with your remodeling project or finishing your basement. So the process that we have set up and what we've found really helps our customers is to start by having an initial consultation, and you can schedule that on our website, danzydesignbuild.com, and we'll reach out to you and set up a time that we can meet with you at your home to discuss the project that you have done, that you want to have done. So once we get that scheduled, we'll meet you at your home, and we'll be looking to address a few things. We'll be looking at mostly the work that you'd like to have done. So what is the scope of work and what do you want included in the work project? And then we'll also be looking to see the budget financially. What's your goal to stay, what budget to stay in? And then also we'll be looking at past projects that we've completed to give an idea of what we can do and some ideas as far as what would work for you with your needs and what you're looking to do. So that is the initial consultation. And when we do that, we're looking to set expectations and make sure that we're on the same page. And when we are on the same page and the expectations are set, then we can enter into the design agreement, the pre-construction agreement. And that essentially is set up to have two portions. The first portion is the preliminary design, and the second portion is the final design. And so cost-wise for this, the design pre-construction agreement for a typical basement finish or similar sized remodel project is going to cost somewhere between $1,500 and $2,500. That's the typical price range that we see for the design and pre-construction service. So in that, what we're going to be doing is in the preliminary design, we're going to be looking at creating floor plans and elevations, total design concept for what you're looking to do. And then we'll take all the measurements that we need to and draw up the plans and get those things settled down as to what you'd like to have done. So we'll put those in the plans and then send them to you for your approval. And when you approve those, or if you need to modify anything, we can change those at this point pretty easily. And then we'll get those approved by you, and then the preliminary design is essentially completed. So from this point, we'll move into the actual final design. And the final design is what we're going to be doing is preparing the plans for the city approval process and actually be able to have a buildable set of plans. So for a typical basement finish, what the city is going to be looking for is a list of code requirements that we're going to have to show how our plan is meeting the codes, and then also the structural requirements. So if you're planning on moving any load-bearing walls or modifying any existing walls that are in your basement, that's typically going to be a structural element that needs to be engineered. And then if you're adding a walkout or an addition onto your home, that's also something that's going to need to be structurally engineered. So at this point in final design is when we get those calculations done. We'll look at for additions, energy calculations that need to be completed there, HVAC requirements, insulation, glazing and windows. For basements, it's typically a walkout will have to be engineered, and any load-bearing walls will be engineered as well. And then once we have those done, then the plan is ready to be sent into the city. So then we'll wrap up the pre-construction agreement by getting ready for that with the specs and selections. So this isn't required by the city, but it really helps our customers have control over the cost and the quality of their project. So if you'd like an average level of finish, a luxury level of finish, or a more basic level of finish, the specs and selections are where we can actually increase or decrease those expenses and those materials that we're going to be using. So we have a schedule that we put together specifically for your project that shows all the choices. We're going to need to choose this, choose this, choose this, choose this, and it will say a date when you need to choose these things by, so that we have all the choices ready to be made and that the project can move forward on time. So ideally, what we like to do is make all those choices at the very front end of the project. And that allows us, especially for smaller projects, like basement finishes and those kind of things, and remodels, it allows us to purchase all of the chosen materials up front and have them ready in sequence so that we're not tracking down the choice that you've made and those materials last minute. So it really helps with the scheduling and actually smoother construction process. So that's what we do there. And then once we have that all completed, you'll get a specification book that's typically 20 to 40 pages long that explains and shows all the choices that you've made and what that's going to include and be for you in your project. So once that's all done, then we have a complete design, engineering plans done, ready to submit to the city. And we also have our specifications and selections made. So you have a really good idea of the quality and the materials that are going to be included in your home as far as flooring or electrical finishes and plumbing fixtures and those things. So that's where we're at with that. And that's where we actually are able to generate that firm price to complete that work, because we're able to calculate the materials and the labor and the whole process. So that's where we can conclude with the price. And at that point, if everything looks good with what we've budgeted and the price that we are looking at currently for those plans, then we're able to enter into the actual building agreement and start the actual construction. So when that starts, we actually start in with the permits and applying for the permits. So that is a little bit of the process that we have figured out that works very well for our customers to help them with a smooth process into the building and remodeling and basement finishing. So if you'd like to know more about how we can help you, feel free to reach out to us on our website. It's danzydesignbuild.com and schedule a consultation. We'd love to visit with you and see how we can help you with your basement finish, your remodel that you're looking to have done. So appreciate your time today and hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Thanks.